In this video, I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by untwisting what my mother did to my mind. So, for 25 years, I've had this weird numbness all over my body, all the time. This is weird. I drop things. I can't quite hold on to them. I don't notice how hard I'm holding them. I bump into things. My legs don't exactly go where I want them. When I go to press a button, it doesn't quite go where I want my finger to go. I feel like a lightning feeling in my back, and whenever I go to the doctors and I try to discuss it when my mother's present, they called it an allergy attack. It got recorded as one. It's an allergy to the medications, and the symptoms are part of like anxiety or all these mental illnesses. But I knew it wasn't a mental illness, and I was speaking up that this is an anxiety. It's not a mental illness. You don't catch a mental illness from taking a bunch of pills. The numbness in the hands, all the time, when I don't have anxiety. But I was a child, so when my mother interrupted me or jumped in, nobody listened. So for years and years and years, I had no idea what this was. The anxiety medication or all that never made a difference. I was still bumping into things. My shins were still getting caught up, still dropping stuff all the time, still couldn't catch a football. Winter would make it worse. Summer would make it better. Turning up the heat would make it better. Cold would make it worse. Stuff like that. And it would happen when I'm joyful, I'm happy, no anxiety. And then when I do have anxiety, it gets worse, but not the numbness. The numbness is always the same level. So what the hell was going on? Why could I play tennis barefoot? I was so screwed up in the head, and every time I brought it to my mother would come up with some weird excuse. And I found that Benadryl seemed to help with the shakes just a tiny bit. Didn't really work, but it improved a little bit. So I started to wonder. I asked my mother, was that really an allergy attack? She goes, I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. When you gave me the medication, I lost my vision, and that stuff at the doctor I was reporting over and over. I don't know. It was a combination of your pills and medications, and it caused a reaction. I don't know. And she would have this guilty look on her face like she did know, though. It would be very obvious that she did know. But growing up at 12 or different ages young, I had no idea what that look on her face meant. I had no idea what the symptoms I'm mentioning really were connected to. You don't lose your vision from allergies. I mean, completely lose them. You don't fall down and lose like you're drunk. You don't turn drunk and OD from allergy attack. Those are two very different things. But as a child, I have never had an allergy attack, and I've never had an overdose. So I do not know the difference. So I start taking too much Benadryl whenever my shakes get really bad during winter. So whenever it starts getting cold, I try to treat myself with Benadryl. And this is like 16 years old. I'm taking like one or two here or there at about 14, 15. Then at 16, I'm taking a lot of bedtime. That way I can sleep, and if my father turns down the heat, doesn't matter, because I took the Benadryl. But that wasn't healthy. That was fucked up mentally. I shouldn't be doing that. I should be going to the doctor and explaining to them about what happened to me so I can get over the PTSD memories. I should be getting treatment for the neuropathy and the nervous system issue. And I should be describing the lightning in my back a little better, as I have neurological symptoms that seem to send signals through my limbs. See, if I spent more time discussing this with professionals, I might have better words or language to describe what's going on. But instead, all I had was a mother pushing mental illnesses as a cover. So now, I don't get the help I need. I never chose this. I never chose for my mother to make up stories about me so I can't go to the doctor. And none of my illnesses or anything I'm going to the doctor for has anything to do with drugs or nothing. There's one that has to go back 25 years. There's another one that goes back like 20 years. That's the stomach. And all I'm trying to do right now is go to the doctor to get some black urine looked at, probably for a kidney infection. But I can't get a single test run because every time I've ever gone to the doctor in my whole life, the minute I walk in, They see my name in the file and my mother's statements. Don't listen to him. He's psychotic. Don't. It's all made up. No matter what he comes to you with, he's a mental health patient. He makes up stories. He's a liar. I know because he stole his own medal. He also has attachment disorder because he put his name on a thing, and that's why we know he has attachment disorder. Not only that, he's bipolar. He goes up, down, up, down, up, down, and he's depressed all the time, all the time. But yet I was a happy-go-lucky kid before I took depressants. That's really weird. Not only that, as a kid, I thought being sad was the same thing as being depressed. Only recently, in the age of 20, did I have a medical professional explain to me that my mother was full of shit, that being sad is not depression. And those talks she had with me in my bedroom and those one-on-ones my mother had with me, because she's such a medical professional and she's a nurse that can be a doctor and she knows everything. Those talks were full of shit, the medical professionals say. If you break up with your girlfriend and you're sad crying, and then that goes away and you just move on, that is not depression. But yet I was convinced that that was depression. I also convinced that if I took a pill and I got really down, tired, kind of non-responsive, get away from me, I want to curl up in bed from a medication, I thought that that was permanent depression that would never go away. But as soon as I stopped taking depressants, boom, I don't get depressed anymore. I still get scared. I still get sad. I still get pain. I'm human. But I don't have those fantasies that my mother had. But there are people still feeding into those, and there's still medical records that still have my mother's and father's names on them, that I have new medical records that they're based upon. You know, you got to understand the past to move forward in the future. And nobody seems to want to understand the past. They don't even want to look at the pictures. Look at me at childhood and tell me that looks like a healthy child. And then ask me why that is. Now, you'll get bullshit from everybody. Oh, it's an eating disorder. Oh, we don't know. Oh, well, it could be abuse. It could be PTSD. You're all very close, but why don't you ask the guy that went through it? I have no want to lie or manipulate. There's nothing in it for me. All I want to do is go to a doctor. That's it. I will tell you very much what happened to me. I'll even admit to my own drug use. I have no concerns about talking about my drug use. It can help a lot of people, actually. I've got sober. I still smoke pot once in a blue moon, and I like my hemp, my CBD hemp lotions and stuff, but and the CBD hemp lotions I only mention because it has 0.003% THC sometimes. But at this point, there is nothing more that I can do but go to a doctor. And every time I go to a doctor, I can see very clearly that somebody has manipulated them. And I do not even get the first step. That would be check in and get some testing done. No, I don't ever even get that far. It's very clear from their statements that somebody is saying this is a mental illness to try to cover up their mistakes. And it's either my mother's statement, but it definitely seems like recently somebody's been feeding them false information. And I'm guessing it's one of my relatives, but I'm not 100% sure. But it definitely somebody's feeding these people false information, because anybody who can present black urine coming out of their you-know-what, and a doctor does not want to see it and instantly treats it like a mental illness, that says a lot right there. That says all I need to know. There's something more to this, and I'm going to have to leave state again. I'm so tired of this. I'm so hurt I can't walk. Luckily, I have a couple people that are for emergencies that I can call once, like every couple years, give them some money, and then I can just have that one ace in the hole, that one emergency card. Hey, I got $100. I need to go to any hospital in Florida. Get me there. I don't care. Just get me there. It's good to have at least that.